Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna just go through a million small things that have to be done before we can move on in this project. This is the week after Christmas, so my kids are home from school, and that means that I have to sneak away for just a few minutes at a time so Mama doesn't get too mad. We are gonna knock out as much as we can before my phone starts going off. Hopefully get MEEMAW one step closer to that first startup. Let's get started. All right, so when nobody was looking, I did order the Holly coil harnesses and I put them on. I got these from Jegs and they showed up in 2 days, so not a big deal. Here's our fuel pump and our little bracket that we made out of cardboard and transferred onto some 1/8 inch plate. I put little rubber isolators in between the fuel pump and the bracket so that, I don't know, sounded like a good idea. And then I bought these little waterproof connectors for everything I have that's electrical. So this is all soldered in. I put this sheathing on the wire to make it look good and keep it protected. The filter is good and tight. All of our ends are good and tight. I did go ahead and run the fuel line to the back. We're gonna get this installed. Before we do, I got these fuel pressure takeoffs. I didn't know, I'd never seen these before. I didn't know they existed, but it's going to make a lot of things a lot easier. Let's get them installed now. So this little guy goes at the end of the fuel rail. And there's a hole right there. In that hole, we can put our Holly fuel pressure sensor. I think it's 555-102, I'm not 100%. And then we just plug our fuel pressure harness in right there and plug our fuel line back in, and that's that. And we'll do the same thing on this side. And then over here, we'll screw in our manual gauge. This way, while we're under the hood, we can very easily tell what the fuel pressure is. And then that'll give us a much cleaner install of our fuel pressure regulator. I have found Motion Raceworks had this little fitting. It comes with this barbed fitting right there. Motion Raceworks had the push to connect version. This is 1/16 NPT to 1/4 inch push to connect. It was like 10 bucks, not a big deal. I guess before we start mounting stuff to the Firewall, I should point out that I painted it. And if you haven't noticed already, there is a bit of a surprise that I'm excited about. That looks so awesome. This way, if we pop the hood at a car show, everybody will know who we're talking about. How about right there? Let's put it right there. So I got the fuel pressure regulator mounted, and then I went ahead and put the Motion Raceworks Flex Fuel Sensor holder. I don't know what this thing's. I put this in here too. So now we just got to make a bunch of hoses. This is called the Olive. Don't know why, I think it's a stupid name. But it is what it is. You gotta shove that between the super sharp, pokey outside and the inside. Then I just use a punch to kind of smush the line against the walls. And then I use a razor blade to cut the excess off. Put the punch back in. Put a little bit of juice in there. There it goes. You just tighten it until this gap is gone. So next, we get this hydromat down inside the tank. So we have to connect that to that. The way I'm planning to do that is to just make a hose with a 90 right here and a straight end right there. So we just need a piece between those two, and then we can shove it all down in there and hook that there, and then the tank's ready. Let me put you down inside my gas hole here and show you what's going on. So that is the inside bulkhead fitting that hooks to this line. Well, while I was editing, I noticed I missed a lot of metal shavings. That is much better. That hooks to that 90, which hooks into the Dynamat, which I've got spread across the bottom of the tank here. We should be good. So now I'm going to take this shut because we don't need it, and then we can drop this guy in the tank. Well, it's time for another episode of Just the Tip, and only for a minute. In the last episode, you saw me burn the rubber out of these bushings, and that's great, except we still have these sleeves to deal with, and I don't have a ball joint press readily available. It's typically what you would use here, but I'm going to show you a shortcut. Just get a Sawzall. You probably have that in your arsenal of tools. If not, just a regular hacksaw works fine. Just disconnect one end of the blade, run it through here, and then reconnect. The name of the game here is to keep the blade flat. What you want to do is just barely cut through that bushing without getting into the control arm itself. Then, you put a punch in it. And what you're trying to do is just fold it in on itself there. And it just fell right out. So there you go. No real special tools. Got it done in about 2 minutes. Thanks for joining me on another episode of Just the Tip and Only for a Minute. As long as we're making progress, let's do something with these last two body bushings. Got some clearance issues here. Figure that out. Well, I gotta ask, if you're not subscribed now, what are you waiting for? Look at this. We're so close. Really, all I have left is a bunch of wiring for accessories like the cooling fans, the water pump, fuel pump, you know, that sort of thing. I gotta get turn signals and all that stuff working again. But so very close. And we'll get all the intercooler piping situated, get the exhaust done, and then MEEMAW is ready to go. If you could, please take a moment to drop me a like, leave some comments, let me know what you think, share this video with your friends. It would really help get the word out about MEEMAW. I need Hellcats, I need Mustangs, and I need Camaros lined up. We're gonna smoke every one of them. Stick around and don't be a jerk.